Hello and welcome. This is Shashwati Bodhakur Dikshit from the New Shuttle team. When we talk about super achievers, this illustrious young girl perfectly fits the bill. In fact, the list of her accomplishments, achievements, and accolades is so long that we'll let her do the talking. Joining us all the way from Singapore is Ishita Pai Riker. Welcome, Ishita.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And we are delighted to have such a super achiever amongst our midst. So, Ishita, tell us something about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Ishita Pai Riker. I live in Singapore. I've been living here for 7 years. I'm in grade 12 currently, and I'm very passionate about dance, modeling, acting, and many extracurriculars.
That's so nice to hear, Ishita. But firstly, let me tell you, I took a long couple of minutes to go through your entire bio. And for such a young girl, it seriously sounds like you have done really, really well for yourself this far. Firstly, Ishita, what caught my eye was your initiative, Global Uplift. Can you tell me something about your mission and what were your thoughts behind creating this endeavor? Tell me something about this Global Uplift.
Yeah, so Global Uplift is an initiative I started 2 months back. I was always in my school involved in leading several initiatives and projects like food drive, cloth drives, and many more like toiletries drive for like different charity organizations like Care for Cambodia and everything. And as I'm in the 12th grade now, next year, I don't know if I'll be able to continue with all these initiatives and what I've been working along with people. So I thought, why not I create something that would be like a long-term project. So that's how I thought of Globe Uplift. So Globe Uplift is an initiative where we bring up world issues that we face today, be it any unemployment, environmental issues, social issues like mental health and all sorts of issues. We're mainly more concerned about environment because I feel we as youth are the most important generation who will be like driving change and everything. So I feel Globe Uplift is not just centered to environment because that would be too restricting. So we have this all-rounded like goals, like you must be knowing the 17 goals set by the UN. So
are you talking about like the 7 sustainable goals, United Nations sustainable goals?
17. Yeah. The 17 global goals set by the United Nations. So we are like a group of at the moment we have over 60 members in our team. Just started 2 months back, but we already have many members already. And that's a really great thing because working along with different kind of people from different backgrounds, from different countries, it's very fun, as well as you get a lot of insights from people, and that's our main initiative, to learn with each other, to learn and educate one another.
Ishita, tell me something, being so young, you are just 17 and to drive 60 people as your colleagues, or maybe sometimes you have to delegate work. How does it work? Do you find it difficult to manage older people, and how does the dynamic work?
Yeah, definitely it's very time consuming and like requires me to like really put time in, more focused time, and as well as with all academics, other extracurriculars, it's hard to manage time, but definitely I'm trying my best. Currently, we have segregated teams based on different, like each person has their own sort of strength and what they like. So that's how we first created a Google form, which the members can fill. So they filled in everything they like and everything they want to tell us about their strengths. So based on that, I delegated tasks to them. So we have a research team, which creates like content for our Instagram account. There's a design team which creates all the graphics for the Instagram post. And we also have a marketing team and an outreach team which promotes and like reaches out to other similar initiatives for like their projects, so we can like collaborate together and learn something. And talking about like having 60 members, most of them are like segregated in like most places. So we have majority from Singapore and India. So in Singapore, we almost have 20 members. In Maharashtra, we have 20 members again. In other countries like Canada, we have 1 member. US, we have a few. So I have given like sort of tasks to people like as a representative. So from the Singapore, I am the representative. From Mumbai, we have someone representing. So it's easier to like coordinate with them. And it's mainly youth of my age, so it's no one really old I have to like work with, but obviously we have many influential people and students. Like we have a few lawyers in our team, we have few software developers, and everyone who's like in university at the moment. So it's very fun to work with them.
Wow. I don't know how you are so young and to come up with such path-breaking and pioneering thoughts. It's a delight to just listen to you, Ishita.
Thank you.
So let's talk about something about your passion for dance, more specifically Bharatnatyam. So you are a classically trained dancer. So when did you discover this love for dancing, and when did you start training for Bharatnatyam? And also, are you training under a teacher?
I discovered my passion through my mom and my aunt. So initially when we were living in Mumbai, at the age of 5, my mom and my aunt were very, proficient dancers, and they still continue. So that's how my mom wanted me to pursue the art form, because she had a few dreams which she couldn't really, she wanted her daughter to do. So I sort of took up the dance form. And initially in the initial years, I was not very inclined for I wasn't really passionate. It was just like a normal activity that any small child would do, on the weekend, just go for dance class, meet new friends, and that was just like a playful activity for me. But actually the most groundbreaking moment was when I got a wonderful teacher who was very supportive, and also the fact that after moving to Singapore as well, I was able to continue. So currently I'm learning under Dr. M.S. Sri Lakshmi. So she's one of the renowned dancers in Singapore, and it's amazing to have her guidance and such wonderful support, and like teaching has really got me really far. So I would really like to thank my parents for their support and my teachers and for everyone for all their love.
Yes, I agree, Ishita, because what's a student without the guidance of a mentor or a teacher or a coach? Because you might know the nitty-gritties, the technicalities, the techniques of a dance or any other art form for that matter, but a teacher, a guide just steers you in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
He shows you the path.
Yeah.
So let us talk about something very special. You were on the welcoming party performance for our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi when he visited Singapore. Tell me about this fantastic experience. How did it come along and what was the overall experience of the event?
Yeah, I was really delighted to be chosen for that performance. So, this event was held at like one of the best places in Singapore called the Singapore Expo. So it was such a great moment to be selected. So obviously I was selected through my dance teacher. So she picked a few students for the performance at the event and I was selected. And then this was quite long back. It was in 2016. So even though I was not as great dancer at that point, I was very glad that my teacher saw the potential in me and she chose me for the event. And it was wonderful to perform in front of him, and it was a privilege actually because he's such an influential personality, and like it was just a great experience.
I'm sure it was, and you made us Indians so proud all over the world. So kudos to you, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you so much.
Ishita, I also hear that you are a champion shuttler. So, as if Bharatnatyam, doing your global uplift organization, your social work, your studies was just not enough, you are a champion shuttler. So, how did this love for badminton come about? So, have you always been playing badminton? So, how did it come about?
Yeah, so since a very young age, I was very playful, very sportive, and like I love to like get involved in as many activities I can. So I joined badminton at a very young age, like 10 or something. And then again, when I came to Singapore through my school, I was given the opportunity to play for my school and represent my school in one of the international competitions within Singapore. So we used to go to intra-school competitions in different schools and represent our school. So that's how I got into badminton. And again, I would like to thank my coach because again, at a young age, he trained us very well. And yeah, all credit go to all the people who saw the potential in me and actually thought I could make it.
Ishita, for a student, for someone of your age, you pack so much in a day. So how do you manage all these various kind of, I wouldn't call it disjointed, but various fields, various activities? How do you pack in a day? So how does your typical day look like? Do you follow a schedule or you just go with the flow? How does it work?
Yeah, it's a great question actually, because even I wonder like how I'm able to manage. But of course, I think having such supportive parents is also one of the best things, because I don't know, like I do create a schedule, but obviously I have to be a bit flexible, like because just last week I had something, and then just this week I had planned my schedule for the weekend, but then my mom told me about this interview, so everything had to like be flexible. So I don't like to keep like such fixed things in my schedule, because again, then it's disappointing that I couldn't do this, couldn't do that. So I try to keep it a bit flexible. And also, I think this is kind of hypocritical because I'm not great at managing my time well, because my parents always keep on guiding me, you should prioritize well, you're in 12th grade. So it's kind of hard and I'm still improving. I wouldn't say I'm the best at time management, but definitely I try my best to like give my priority to what is important in the space at the moment. Like suppose dance is important now, and then I move on to another task in try to balance that well.
And who would you call your biggest inspiration? Is there someone maybe within your family, friends, or perhaps a celebrity that you look up to, that you would really like to follow their path, what are they up to? Is there someone you look up to?
Yeah, my biggest inspiration, not really my inspiration, but I really admire her, is Kriti Sanon. So I really, the actress Kriti Sanon, I really admire her and like her personality, who she is. And also my family members, they sort of tease me with her name, that sometimes I resemble her looks and everything. Like we sort of talk the same. So I was watching one of her interview and it was like, I watched one of my videos and it was sort of like we spoke the same way. We had this same kind of personality, that aura. And I always look up to her because like she's also involved in modeling, acting and everything, and even I have been involved in that. And actually even I actually want to pursue engineering and like go into artificial intelligence, and she's also an engineer, so it's like sort of everything coincides with her. So she's someone who I really admire.
So isn't it all great to find a person who's done so well for herself, kind of share this many similarities and many traits with us? So it makes us feel better that, okay, if this person can go ahead and forge a name for herself, so can I. So it's so much beautiful. So it kinds of attracts, it kinds of become a I wouldn't call it an inspiration. It kind of motivates or just nudges you to do as well, not like your inspiration or your role model. So you are a teenager, Ishita. So is there a celebrity that you fangirl on or you have a big crush on?
No, not really any celebrity, but Kriti Sanon, like she's the best for me, because actually before even I started liking her, it was like she also came in the film industry like just not many years ago. I think been only 10-12 years for her. I'm not very sure, but like the first part, the best moment was when in a movie her name was Ishita, so that was like, oh my god, this is the best thing in life. And then again, like in a few consecutive movies, like the way her personality and character was also resembled me a bit. Like the way in one of the movies, her room was exactly my room, looks like that. She had a dream catcher in her room. I have the same one. So everything was like just amazing.
Maybe the universe conspired to bring two personalities of Ishita Pai Riker and Kriti Sanon together. Is it?
Yeah.
One male, I won't let you off without telling me one male celebrity crush. Then I'll tell you mine.
I would say Hrithik Roshan, because of his amazing dancing skills. And actually he had come to Singapore in my old school in Singapore. He had come there for a leadership lecture series. That's where I got to actually see him on stage and I was part of the audience. That was like an amazing moment. So yeah, Hrithik Roshan.
So does he, I have this feeling that he looks like 100 times better than he does it on screen. Is it true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not better, but he looks good anyway, but yeah, definitely. Like as a proper human and like we see him face to face, definitely he looks better.
All right. So Ishita, there would be so many viewers who would be listening to you talk about your aspirations. So what are your aspirations? Do you foresee a career in modeling or in the entertainment industry, maybe as a performer, a dancer? So have you thought about it? I heard you have this aspiration of becoming an engineer. But apart from engineering, do you foresee a career for yourself in the entertainment industry as a model or a performer?
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. I would be very keen to be in. So similarly, like how I'm trying to manage different things right now, I also want to like continue like another kind of hobby or something like modeling or like dance or acting again in the future as well. Because I feel when I have a lot of things going on, it sort of gives me the drive and push to do well in like whatever I'm focusing on at the moment. So definitely it's not like I would leave dance and anything after this, because this even Stage Bride's event, Miss Teen Bride, was like the beginning, starting point for me in my modeling journey, if it would be to continue. Even I had my Bharatnatyam Arangetram 3 years back. That wasn't the end of my dance thing, but that was actually the beginning. So definitely I would be interested in any like plans or anything that would come ahead, and any opportunities I would seize them for sure.
Any message for our viewers, especially young girls who would like to carve a niche for themselves in the entertainment industry or in the performing arts? Any tips, tricks, any nuggets of wisdom from you?
Yes, definitely. I feel everyone, not just girls or boys, but everyone should have this one thing that keeps them going. And that one thing should always be, it should always be involved in whatever you do. So I think I would say definitely for me it is dance, because even during my exams and everything, it's not like, okay, I have my exams now, I'm not going to do dance anymore. Whatever you like, that should be something that is like a stress buster for you. That is something that gives you relaxation. That shouldn't be like a pressure or workload for you. Right. So I feel everyone, when all the viewers watching, I think you should stick to one activity that you really enjoy, you really like, and go all the way ahead as much as you can. Improve yourself in it, develop in it, find a good coach, find a good teacher in anything you do. And I think you'll do a great job alongside anything you're doing, like your academics. And I've seen many young children, like even girls especially, as in year 9th grade, 10th grade, they tend to leave their activities, extracurriculars, saying they prioritize on their academics. Well, that's true that academics are important, but I feel at the same time, to balance academics, and also life is sort of like a journey and it's to be enjoyed. So it's not like, okay, 10th grade, I'm not going to do anything, just 10th grade. That's not the correct attitude. I feel having more challenges, having more things at a time to work with. Like at the moment, even though I'm in 12, I have like a lot going on. And for no single day, I think, okay, I have to really focus on only this, because I feel having a lot of things also gives you like a sense of direction, because you clearly understand, you critically think that you need to give this much time to this and this much time to that, and then you clearly understand like how to schedule your life properly. You understand what is more important, how to carry forward this thing. I feel such things like traits of yourself also develop more ahead in life. So in your career further, you will be able to improve your decision making based on how you're going now, because I feel what we learn at a young age is like carried forward. So at the moment, if I'm balancing so many things, I've gotten a lot of skills and understood myself more enough, because this is how I feel, is like understanding I'm doing so many things. I feel like, okay, this is kind of motivating. And also, I don't know if you've heard of this, but like, it's like success leads to motivation, which leads to success. So it's not like that if you're like motivated only, then you'll get success. Sometimes success is the motivating factor, and like once you do well in something, that motivates you to do well in another thing. So I feel we should always have something to balance with our thing we're already doing, and just embrace challenges that come ahead.
Thank you, Ishita, for such wonderful and inspiring words. So viewers, according to Ishita, success and motivation should not be mutually exclusive. They should be mutually inclusive, because one attracts the other. So this 17-year-old surely has a heart and head in the right place. So before signing off, I thank Ishita Pairaiker all the way from Singapore for talking to us and being on our platform, New Shuttles platform. And we wish you the very best, Ishita. And we are very, very sure that you'll go very far, and maybe we'll get to interview in when you become the next Kriti Sanon of the industry.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much for having me here.
You're most welcome. So this is Shashwati Bhattacharya Dixit from the New Shuttle team signing off. Until the next time when we meet another super achiever, it's goodbye and take care.